Hi, welcome to White Birch Tarot. This is Monday, August 8th, but this reading is still involved with that Uranus North Node Mars conjunction that we're having in Taurus that I believe is going to resonate for a while because that's a big deal. And then we've got this Aquarius full moon coming up in, 5 days, I think? I always forget to look at the exact dates before I sit down, but that's gonna be kind of a big deal too because it's I think it's making a T-square with Saturn in Aquarius, if I'm not mistaken. Oh no, it can't be because it's in Aquarius. Well, I clearly didn't do my homework again. I will look that up before I do another reading when we get closer to the full moon. But I just felt like doing one tonight. And I'm going to start off with a couple of quotes if I can find them. And I don't know who these people are. The names sound German to me. This person's name is Ad Reinhardt. And he said, "Art is too serious to be taken seriously." Okay, I like that. I always like a paradox. And this person's name is Werner Erhard. And he said, "Ride the horse in the direction that it's going." That sounds pretty wise, because it kind of doesn't work if you don't. I can attest to that. I'm usually trying to go the opposite direction. So anyway, I've already drawn the cards, but I haven't thought about them so I don't get all, tangled up in my head. I almost said tangled up in blue. That's an old Bob Dylan song. Okay, we start out with the Mother of Wands. Wands are fire energy. And this is the Wild Unknown Tarot, so I'm not as familiar with it. And also, it's really hard to shuffle. So I'm always wondering, I hope I chose the right card because they stick together and they're really thick. But anyway, the Mother of Wands is, this is about, protecting your nest. And this is a person generally who has gone through a lot of SHIT in their lives and has come out the other side and is very protective of what they've achieved and protective of others because she's a mother. And as you can see, she's a snake, and I like snakes myself, but then I like pretty much everything that's outdoors, except for ticks, mosquitoes, and chiggers. I can live without them, and spiders I'm terrified of. Anyway, don't cross her because she'll strike if you cross her. So I don't know if this is the way we're feeling right now. Like we're just we've worked hard to get where we are, and we're protective of that as we should be, and we're just saying to other people, don't cross my boundary. I feel like this is about boundaries right now. Don't push it, Don't push my boundaries. But it's overall a good energy. But and again, if you're dealing with someone else who is this way, they may be protective, but that's okay. And then I drew the Four of Wands, and this is really good energy. This is where you've reached a certain stage of completion of a task, and you've worked hard, and you've achieved something. This is sometimes known as the portal card in the Rider-Waite deck, where it shows, like moving into a new space. And this suggests an opening as well, and a radiance coming through. So you've achieved something, and it's time to be happy about that because you worked hard to get there. And this may have something to do with I don't know if it has something to do with your home or your job. This suggests home to me because of the nesting. But wands is action, so I should say wands are action. Ex-English teacher here. The Empress, this is a beautiful card. And this is something growing, putting down roots. And again, I feel like we've really achieved something, and you may not even realize how much at this point, but you have. And this tree doesn't really have fruit on it, but it's got deep roots. It's in some cards it's like a woman who looks pregnant. Something is flowering finally, that you've been working on, and it's about time. So that's a really good card. And then we get another major arcana, Temperance. And this is balance. This is kind of playing with the energies. And this can be tricky because you want to achieve balance. It's not always easy. And so I like this card. It's really positive. And it's kind of telling you also to relax and go with the flow. Like ride the horse in the direction it's going. Because right now things are pretty positive. And again, I'll talk more about the full moon before we have it. It's going to be a whopper, to put it mildly. But this suggests that, you've achieved some balance, but also just be careful. Don't throw things out of alignment. Don't go too far in one direction or another. And then we get another major arcana, Strength, which is beautiful. And this is about mastering the emotions inside you. And it looks like perhaps we've gained, this actually came out in the reverse, but I just didn't feel like doing reverse. It didn't seem right tonight. So I think that you have, in fact, you've either mastered some emotions or you're working on mastering some emotions. And this can also be, trying to keep your ego in check. But it's more about like raw emotions inside and creativity and harnessing those for good. And remember, Leo rules the heart, and that's where courage comes from. And so it's about being brave also, keeping on and recognizing the strength that you have acquired. And don't forget to share it with others. And then we get the Ace of Cups. This is a beautiful card. It looks like a chalice, which is, this just struck me 2 nights ago. I just suddenly became obsessed with the Holy Grail, which I have in my life read so much about already, but I just had to dive in again. And I just couldn't get it off my mind. It was just like stuck in my head for some reason. And so I read all about it again, and it's a fascinating thing. Some people think it was the chalice that Jesus drank out of or shared, at the Last Supper. Actually, I don't believe he drank out of it. I believe he shared it with his disciples, but it's actually much older than that. It's a pagan symbol, and, it's found in Welsh mythology. The, what do they call it? The cauldron of Caradwen, the goddess, and there's a bunch of Celtic references, so I believe it's much older than Christianity, but it's the same principle. It's like, this is like a holy vessel, and it both contains grace for you and also asks you to be a vessel of grace for others. And I think we can be right now. And it still reminds me, I think that new moon in Leo just was like so powerful. I still feel Leo energy floating around, and that's, from the heart. And I don't know. I love the Grail story. And this is what I was thinking. I'm going to grab some oracle cards and shuffle while I'm thinking and talking. But if anyone has read about the Grail, the knight Parsifal, also called Percival, goes to, and some say it was Galahad, but anyway, he goes to this castle, and in the Monty Python movie, Monty Python and the Holy Grail, so funny. He goes, it's called Castle Anthrax, which, look up Anthrax if you don't. That's, anyway, it's a hysterical movie, but he goes in and he sees the Holy Grail, which he's searching for, but he doesn't know it because he doesn't ask the right question. And the question is, whom does the Grail serve? And so that's the question you're supposed to ask yourself, is like, whatever behavior you're engaged in or whatever you're thinking about, ask yourself that question, whom does this serve? Because a lot of times you'll discover that what you're engaged in is actually not serving your higher good. It's serving something lower in yourself that you might need to take a look at. Okay, I just drew 2 Wisdom of the Oracle cards while I was talking. This deck has a lot of cards, and I swear to God, I draw this almost every time. Fork in the road. We are, okay, I get the message. We are definitely at a fork in the road. And I'm feeling like this is not only personally, which it is, but as a collective. I mean, just look at the news. You know, this can't go on. This can't go on. And I'm going to choose to be positive and believe that people will wake up, stop fighting with each other and arguing over, what the truth is, and just, why don't we just aim for kindness and love and helping each other? And then that is the truth. Then it doesn't matter what side you're on or what religion you are or what race you are. Just, anyway, I feel like as a collective, we have reached a fork in the road, and I hope we choose the right path because it's important. That just reminded me of, David Bowie's song, Starman. There's a starman waiting in the sky. He'd like to come and meet us, but he thinks he'd blow our minds. What is the line I'm thinking of? Oh, he told us, he told us, oh, come on. He tells us not to he'd tell us not to blow it because shoot. Anyway, it's about how things matter. I'd have to start at the beginning of the song, and you don't want to hear me sing, but he tells us not to blow it because he knows it's all worthwhile. There you go. Yeah. He told us not to blow it because he knows it's all worthwhile, and it is. Everything is precious. And then we get Treasure Island. This is beautiful. This is something good headed our way. And I'm feeling like, oftentimes when they talk about treasure, they talk about hidden treasure. If you've ever read the book Treasure Island by Robert Louis Stevenson, the best movie of this was made in God, I don't know, I want to say the 50s or 60s. It's brilliant. I believe it's a Disney film. My husband showed me that movie after we got married. It was one of his favorite movies. It's brilliantly done. If you can find the old version, it's just fantastic. They did a great job with the book. I can't recommend it highly enough. It's a wonderful movie. It would be great for kids, but it's really it's just a cool movie. But I love I've always wanted to find hidden treasure. And of course you can find hidden treasure like literally on the ground, or you can find it within yourself or within others. And so great. Should I jinx us by, I want to use my new archetype cards, but I don't want to draw anything negative because we've got a really good reading going here, and I feel like this is really positive energy. And I've had a couple of really positive things happen in the last couple of days. So, okay, who wants to come out? Oh boy. Should have stopped while I was ahead again. Okay, this is interesting. The Mask. And I have no book I bought these cards on eBay because they were expensive and they're used. I have no book. But this is very interesting because I'm in a metaphysical discussion group every Sunday. We meet on Zoom, and we were talking today about who are you really? Who do you say you are? Who do you think you are? And does that line up with the I'll just call it the spirit, what the Native Americans called the Great Spirit within? Does that line up? Do your actions and your thoughts line up with who you really feel that you are deep inside? We were talking about that. And I said that, as taught to be a people pleaser, I've spent some time being fake, not on purpose, but just trying to be whatever people wanted me to be. So it's kind of interesting that I draw the mask because I feel like I've worn so many masks, and someone in the group pointed out that can be a plus because it gives you the ability to develop a rapport with so many different kinds of people. And that is very true. And I used to be a teacher, and that used to serve me because I could kind of relate to anyone. Didn't matter what country they were from or what age they were. I was really good at clicking, connecting with others. But you don't want to wear the mask all the time, and you want to be aware when you are wearing a mask. I mean, a mask can be necessary sometimes. You don't want to expose your inner vulnerable self to people who will not treat you with dignity and respect and kindness. But it's really helpful to discover when who you think you are is actually a mask, because at this time, we all should be our authentic selves if we can. And again, that's a lifelong process of discovering who you are, choosing who you want to be, and uncovering. Sometimes I feel like the choice has already been made. It's almost like you're uncovering what's already there rather than forming what is there, but it's both at the same time. And I'm really trying to absorb that idea of both and rather than either or. And this is an interesting card because it's like we have the mask, which is sometimes necessary, which is our ego. And we need that to function, you need that. You can't be I mean, if I sat here, if I went to the grocery store and sometimes I do start crying in public because my husband passed away, and I don't worry about that, but you don't want to be that way 24/7. So you need some mask, it's interesting to me that on the other side, that the colors are on the side of the mask. And then on the other side is just darkness. And I'm thinking, is that telling me that we can create whatever we want out of the darkness? Or that we have to go into the darkness to find what lies behind the mask? Don't know. Should I draw one more? Let's see, it's been 16 minutes, almost 17. Or should I let that be? What the heck? I don't know. You know what? This is really weird. The Mother comes out. And look at the similarity between this and the Mother of Wands. I mean, okay, this is important. Oops, just knocked over my crystal. Bad luck for 7 years. I'm just kidding. I'm not superstitious. Okay, so these are so similar. Look at this. We have a nest. This is a snake curled up. We have two snakes curled up. She's got eggs. These are some kind of stones. There's a woman's hand and a pearl at the center, which also reminds me of, when you drop the mask, what are you going to find? The treasure that's buried inside you. This is definitely about uncovering the pearl. And again, pearls are made by, grit inside of is it an oyster? Yeah, I think. Yeah. I should know. I used to live in a town called Oysterville, believe it or not. It was lovely. And I don't eat oysters, but anyway. But pearls are formed when, there's a piece of grit, a piece of sand inside. Why is this I'm holding still. When you go through tough times. I don't understand why that woman's hand with the nail polish is there. It looks like she's is that supposed to be a mother? It looks like she's got I don't like that. I don't know why, but that gives me the willies. Okay, it's like a 1950s KitchenAid or kitchen, like advertisement. It's just strange. But anyway, it's a beautiful card. And here's the nest again, and I got nest feeling. Protect your nest and know that the treasure is inside you. And it is. But I think you're going to discover some of it in the very near future. You are going to discover it. Oh, my nail keeps getting caught on this. Okay, the fork in the road is coming, though. So anyway, I don't think I need to sum this up. I think it's kind of self-explanatory. But we've reached a point where we are finally reaping some rewards from our labors. And just remember to be protective and kind at the same time. And you are stronger than you think. Okay. And again, this reading is it's for right now, August 8th, but whenever you come across it. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe, like, share, all the good stuff. Leave me a comment if you feel like it. I'd love to hear from people. I think it's really fun. So thank you very much. Good night.